Malcolm Gladwell has a new book, Talking to Strangers. Is it worth a read? Hey, thanks for watching. Today is Tuesday, Reviews Day Tuesday. That is the day that I do a book review. Now, I haven't done one of these in months, and I was thinking about why I haven't done book reviews, and it's probably because I don't feel very good about my skill at doing book reviews, but that hasn't stopped me from doing videos on other topics. So I figure I want to make some more book reviews, and today I'm going to get back into the swing of it. And so I've chosen the new Malcolm Gladwell book, Talking to Strangers, What We Should Know About the People We Don't Know. Now, if you don't know Malcolm Gladwell, he's this, pop sciencey writer. You probably know him from books such as Outliers, Blink, Tipping Point, David and Goliath. He's done a number of books. They've all been bestsellers. And I've enjoyed all the books that I've read. This one, probably not as much as the other ones. And let me explain why. You see, in this book, the whole premise is that we're not very good at reading the minds of other people or judging their actions. We think that we can understand people we don't know, but we're really not very good at it. And he goes into several examples why. Now, the examples that he uses for this book are kind of tough to talk about. These are not subjects that you would want to bring up at the coffee shop or around the dinner table, as most of it deals with sexual assault and racial discrimination. Those aren't really fun topics to talk about. They're important topics to talk about, but it's difficult to talk about those. He bookends the book with the story of Sandra Bland. And you may not know this story, but she was a young African-American woman. She was pulled over by a cop, and she kind of acted like a jerk. He kind of acted like a jerk. She was arrested, for nonsense. I mean, it was like turn signal wasn't on. She goes to jail and kills herself in jail, and that was a tragedy, a tragic story. But he examines this to make some other points. And he does stop short of really saying what he really thinks, I think. I don't know. I can't read his mind, right? That's the whole point. We don't know what strangers think, and Malcolm Gladwell's a stranger to me. So I don't know what he really thinks about this case, but it seems like he doesn't quite say what he thinks about this. And that's a little disappointing to me. Now, the other examples that he uses throughout the book, Bernie Madoff, right, con artist, a Ponzi scheme, and talks about how he was able to get away with it because people couldn't recognize the liar, and this idea that we default to truth, meaning that we assume people are telling the truth most of the time. And he gives lots of examples for that, and I think that that's interesting. The other examples that he uses throughout the book are really, really not fun topics. He talks about Brock Turner. There was a sexual assault case in California. Amanda Knox, which was a murder mystery in Italy, I guess, if you will, talks a great deal and goes into great detail about Sandusky, right, Penn State. And that was just really, really hard to read. Not, you don't feel good reading about that. And I think that that's one of the tough things about this book is the topics that he discusses are tough to talk about. And I think the biggest disappointment that I have in this book is that Malcolm Gladwell is world famous. He's a millionaire. He's super successful. He's got FU money, meaning that he's got enough money that it doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter if Twitter gets mad at him. It doesn't matter if the media comes at him. He's got enough money to live comfortably the rest of his life. But yet he chooses to not say anything really controversial when I believe that he thinks some things that are controversial. But I don't know because he doesn't say them, right? Now, one of the examples that you could talk about around the dinner table would be his analysis of Friends. And that's the TV show from, I guess, the 90s, right? Where the acting is so over the top that everybody acts in such a way that you would think they would act. Meaning that if they're surprised, their eyebrows go up, their eyes pop, their jaw drops, they may throw their, And that you could watch an episode of Friends and you could turn the volume off because the acting is such that you know exactly what's going on. But this isn't exactly how real people act. We think that people, if they're surprised, would throw their hands up and have their jaw wide open. But in reality, that's not how people react when they're surprised. They may just, furrow their brow a little bit. And because we're not very good at judging people that we don't know, if they act in a way that we don't expect them to act, we may draw the wrong conclusion about what they think. Would I suggest this book? Well, if you've read every other Malcolm Gladwell book, sure, get this one too. It's like his other books, and if you enjoy his writing, he's a good writer, and so he does a good job with this one. If you don't know Malcolm Gladwell, I would kind of suggest some of the other books that he's written. I think that they're better and they're more fun because you can talk about them, what you learned in the book. Whereas in this book, it's probably best to keep many of the topics to yourself in polite company. Now, I do most of my reading on one of these Kindles. Of course, if a different company made it other than Amazon, I'd probably like it more. But these are pretty good. I think it's pretty rotten that the Kindle version is almost the same price as a full hardcover book. That seems insane to me. Now, I like the Kindle version because I have enough clutter in my life. I don't need more things. I'm trying to Marie Kondo my life and have less stuff. So I don't need a ton of books. And so I just get them on the Kindle. For me, it's better. But there should be a bigger discount, in my opinion. I mean, there's not anything really being manufactured. So, I don't know. That's just my take. Link in the description if you want to check out the book. And if you like the idea of me doing book reviews once a week, let me know in the comments. If you got any suggestions, that's fine. I'm probably just going to try to get things that are on the bestseller list so that, maybe someone new can discover my channel. And who knows, maybe one day my channel will be big enough that I could interview someone like Malcolm Gladwell. Someday. Peace.